What's up, everybody? I'm Mckenty. This is my second channel, and this is your home for my Twitch highlights and my podcast. So if you like this and you want to see more of that and you want to join the live streams, there's a link to that in the description of this video. And with that out of the way, let's talk about Wage War. A lot of people have asked me about this. This is a band that I would say, lightly critiqued or talked a little shit about them in a way that I think was lighthearted. I have always thought they were a good band and always respected them, but I've been critical of their stuff more recently. But I'm not a hater, and I'm not afraid to change my opinion about a band, or I don't think I was wrong about that. But I want to give credit where it's due. As critical as I was of the stuff that they have done over the past couple years, I think this album is fucking great. It feels fresh, it feels different and new. I haven't heard anybody do anything exactly like this. The title track is awesome. The entire album is awesome. Like, I think this is a fantastic album. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why. And I'm also going to kind of catch everyone up on a little bit of history on the band. That's how I like to do these rather than just a straight up review. I like to kind of do a deep dive into who they are and give a little bit of context. So they are a band from Ocala, Florida. If you've ever been to Ocala, which I've been there a couple times, it's in central Florida. It's about an hour and a half north of Orlando. There's nothing there. There's horses. There's like an annual strawberry festival. It's not cool. It's not big. Like, there's not a lot going on in Ocala. And yet, for some reason, it has like this massive amount of talented people that came out of this city, given how big it is. Half of Under Oath is from Ocala. A Day to Remember is from Ocala. My friend Drew Russ is from Ocala, who has directed videos for them and Sleeping with Sirens and August Burns Red and a million other bands. So point being is that there's like a bizarre concentration of talent in Ocala of all places. I honestly have no clue why, because like I said, it's nothing great. If anything, I would say it's substantially less than great. But I think sometimes that's the way it works. Like, if you notice, there's not a lot of bands from New York City, or certainly from Manhattan. There's a lot of bands from, like, you know, kind of far out Brooklyn, or from Long Island, or from New Jersey. Not a lot of bands from the city of LA. They're from like the IE, or from Orange County, or from, you know, somewhere up north, like the Valley. The coolest stuff generally doesn't come from these like big cool cities. The stuff usually happens kind of out in the suburbs or in these kind of out of the way towns, because I don't know, maybe there's nothing else to do there. In any case, Wage War actually started in 2010. Like, they're another one of these bands, kind of like Spirit Box, where it seems like they're an overnight success because they just sort of burst onto the radar for a lot of us in 2015. But they actually had been around. They've been around for 11 years now. They started when they were, I think, in high school. They had a different name then. I don't remember what it was, but they've been around for a long time. And then for some reason or another, I'm not exactly sure how they kind of got connected, but Jeremy McKinnon and Andrew Wade, who is a friend of mine who's also from Ocala. He's a producer that's done almost everything for A Day to Remember, also like The Ghost Inside, Neck Deep, and Wage War, and a bunch of other bands I can't think of right now, but great guys, super talented. Andrew and Jeremy kind of took Wage War under their wing, I guess, and put out an album that kind of became like sort of a breakout hit of 2015. That album is called Blueprint. Let's listen to it a little bit. I think this was their first big song. It's not their very first song, but I think this is the one that really put them on the map. Nothing necessarily super original. Like, it's not that you hadn't heard this before. To me, it pretty much sounded like if you took just the heavy parts from A Day to Remember and like that was the whole song. That's kind of what it sounded like to me, which is not a bad thing at all. And I think it just kind of speaks to, again, kind of like Spirit Box. It's like you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to do it really well. And I would say definitely working with Andrew and Jeremy was the right choice, because those two are fucking incredible songwriters. Both of them have like very high standards. And I would say what they have in common is they're both like real sticklers for like vocal hooks and melody. And I think that that is what Wage War brought to the table within the context of this style of metalcore. This is my favorite song from this album. Get up! Good comment from the chat here. My dad told me there's two ways to make it in music. Do what everyone else is doing, but better, or do what no one else has done, preferably a combination of both. I think that's a fantastic way to put it, actually. I'm going to steal that. I'm going to do like Michael Scott. It'd be like, Nipples' dad, such and such, Finn Mckenty. I like that one. I'm taking credit for that one. This song especially reminds me of A Day to Remember. Korn. Nothing about this sounds like Korn. And a solo that's actually cool. Yeah, I think this song is awesome. Again, it's nothing like amazing necessarily. It's not like this is something nobody's ever done before. It's just a really fucking good metalcore song, or what my wife likes to call hardcore core. It's like a metalcore band playing a hardcore song. So it's like metalcore plus hardcore, or hardcore core. The Ghost Inside would be another great example of hardcore core. Yeah, I think this song is awesome. I remember that when they came out, you know, they just kind of hit the ground running. One important thing is that they worked their fucking asses off around this time. I remember them, I think it was with Stick to Your Guns. They like opened for Stick to Your Guns and Sanction, I think. You know, they just worked their fucking asses off touring. They put out a great album and supported it, worked their fucking asses off. They put out a ton of videos and they ended up on Fearless. I'd imagine that that probably happened due to some kind of connections there between Jeremy and Andrew, and whoever else is involved probably helped that make that happen. But I mean, that was a good signing. People oftentimes want to discredit stuff like that, like, oh, well, they only made it big because they knew Jeremy. That definitely helped. But the question I would ask is, why would someone like Jeremy be interested in working with them or helping them, right? Because they're good, because he saw potential there. Jeremy's not going to hitch his wagon, or Andrew. They're not going to hitch their wagon to shitty bands just because they're from Ocala and they seem like nice people, you know? They need to see potential. So if you want high-profile people to help you, give them a reason why. You know, Jeremy and Andrew get points on this. They produced it. Points meaning that they get a percentage of the royalties on this, I would imagine. If they have producer credit, that's typically the way it works. So give them a reason to care. You know, give them a reason to want to help you. Yeah, I thought this album was really fucking good. Like, not the best thing I've ever heard in my life or anything, but I'm like, okay, this band is awesome, and I can see why they took Reddit by a storm. They got off to a great start. The next album they put out was called Deadweight. And this is where they started to kind of lose me a little bit. Not entirely, but just a little bit. But it's also the album that really, I think, took them to the next level. Their first album put them on the map and made people kind of pay attention. But this album was the one that kind of took them out of being, you know, the band that would open for Stick to Your Guns and maybe would be headlining that same tour. This is where they started to get a little bit more octane, but let's listen so you can see what I'm talking about.
As low as I can get from the bridge with the stage shout. Pick it up!
Very new metal here. Just so everyone understands what I'm saying, when I say octane or octane core, what I am referring to is SiriusXM Octane, which is a show or channel, I guess, on SiriusXM. It says, experience the cutting edge of new hard rock, featuring the next generation of headbangers destined to be headliners. Here, Bring Me the Horizon, Five Finger Death Punch, Nothing More, Shine Down, I Prevail, and more. Can't wait to hear the latest song from that hot new band, Shine Down. Jose Mangan, I guess that's how you say his name. He's the host. You know, he does do a lot for the scene, that's for sure. No hate. But I would say, you know, for me personally, what I think of, let's see if I can find if they have a playlist. Here's what they've been playing on Octane. Papa Roach, Bring Me the Horizon, Chevelle, In This Moment, Turnstile, Linkin Park, Hailstorm, Spirit Box, Skillet, Beartooth, Disturbed, Fighting for Your Death Punch, Stone Sour, Wage War, Ice Nine Kills, Asking Alexandria. So, you know, it's not quite exactly like Red State butt rock music. It's kind of edging in that direction. If you were to draw a Venn diagram of metalcore and like Red State butt rock festival music, it would kind of be the intersection of those two circles. And so when I say octane core, or that it sounds like Octane, what I mean is that it would fit in with that lineup. And to me, that basically means metalcore bands that went butt rock for the most part. And as you can hear, this song, you know, pretty much is that. And I don't think that's a bad thing, by the way. But let's listen to it so you can see what I mean. This song's pretty heavy. And this album in general, I still like because it is pretty heavy. Very Slipknot. It's like psychosocial part here. Not bad. It's okay. This is like where it really kind of starts to lose me. Yes, Mckenty chorus, Charlie XCX, and Demi Lovato. Like this stuff, I can't get with this. I just can't. It's not bad, but this is where they start to kind of lose the aggression to me. It starts to go more in that sort of like Octane core direction, and I don't fault them for that. I'm glad that they did it. Like, I support that they did it because, you know, there's a ceiling to playing that like heavy shit from their first album, from Blueprint. Where can you really go with that? You know, are you going to just like headline 500 cap venues forever? Not to put that down or anything, but that's a tough way to make a living. And if you feel like you have the potential to do more than that, if you feel like you have the potential to take things to the next level, you should do it. Why not? As long as you're comfortable with that, as long as like that's not something you hate. But like, if you know, if you say, you know what, if we just like added some butt rock choruses to our songs, could we get on Octane? Could we like kind of move up the next level? Why not try it? I don't personally like it, but I support anybody that just tries to like see how far can you take this idea? How big can this be? I support that. This is the kind of shit I just can't get into though. The rain, I mean, this is just, everything about this is just so predictable to me. You know, the song just does exactly what you thought it was gonna do. I mean, this video has been made a million times, right? Like 10 years earlier. This shot has been in a million videos. Who directed it? Ori McGinnis. I'm sorry, Ori. This video is played out. But it's not a bad song. I mean, it's, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of very, just bland to me. But if that's what Octane says they want, and, you know, you want to get the bag, I don't fault you for it. But for me personally, I'm out. So that was their second album, Deadweight. Their third album, Pressure, is the one where it really, really kind of did it for me of like, all right, this, I cannot back this anymore. This is where they went like full, as they say, Linkin Parkitects, where it's like Architects verses with Linkin Park choruses. I've made fun of this song Low quite a bit, and I will continue to do so. Let's listen to it. This is like every 2019 metalcore cliche combined. Got the Doomsday riff, the outlined text. They're genting in a colored room. They got an Architects blah. I really want to know what Sam Carter and the rest of our guys in Architects think when they see this. They're not going to say anything publicly, you know, but if I was them, I'd be like, really, guys? Really? Like, I get that you like our band. That's flattering. That's cool. But really? You steal our riff and then you steal my vocal thing within the first fucking 30 seconds of the song? Really? You can't just change it up a little bit? From the chat here, he said, he stopped blaying after that. He did. You're right. There's a tweet that he says, like, I wish I never made that stupid sound because everyone on the fucking Reddit metalcore is fucking jerking off over it. Every band started fucking doing them, you know. It sucks. They like chased the poor guy away from doing his signature thing. It sucks. And then this like, here comes the Linkin Park chorus. Look, this is not a bad song. Objectively, it's well done. But to me, it's just so generic. Like, it's literally just if you took every fucking cliche from this era of metalcore and put them into one song and one video, you would get this. Now, they got 5.5 million views for it. So what do I know? Like, obviously this worked for them. I think their fans really like it. I'm not faulting them for it. I'm not suggesting they should have done something differently. They certainly don't exist to please me. But my personal opinion is like, this is just... it's just not it. There's just nothing interesting about this to me personally, in my opinion. Do I think it's well done? Yes, but there's nothing valuable or interesting here to me personally. And this whole album, I feel, is like that. One of the other singles, Who I Am, which to me just feels like the same thing, but maybe not even as good. You know, the same title treatment here as the last song, as Low. It's more genting in a colored room. Just Architects again. One thing I will say is that of all the bands who do this or did this kind of generic 2019 metalcore, I do think they did it better than anybody else. What is their vocalist name? I don't remember, but he is really fucking good. This is a great recording. They did this as well as you could do it. There's two questions here. There's one is like, what is the intent? And then there's how well did you execute it? Like the concept versus the execution. And I would say that conceptually, I would give them like a D. I don't think there's anything interesting or unique or clever or creative about this conceptually. In terms of execution, though, I would give them an A. Like they did this as well as you could possibly do it. Just to me, it's not interesting. So that is kind of leading up to where we're at now. The new album called Manic, which I was expecting to suck because, you know, that's sort of the trajectory of a band like this that starts out heavy and then they get more and more and more butt rock with every album. I was like, all right, this one's probably going to sound like fucking Imagine Dragons. Literally, that's what I was expecting. And that's what they want to do. Good for them. Whatever. It's their career, not mine. But I'm very happy to say that I was wrong. This album fucks. It just does. It fucks. It is still kind of butt rocky, but it's still like heavy as shit. It kind of feels like they found the perfect combo of the heaviness of their early stuff with the accessible kind of like Octane friendly stuff of their past couple albums. And I think they fucking nailed it. Like hats off to them. This is the first single, Circle the Drain. Definitely still kind of, you know, Octane core, kind of genty. This is not my favorite song on the album, but it's pretty good. Not a fan of these parts, but I recognize why they're there. So I heard that song and I was like, all right, not interested. A little too butt rock for me. But then High Horse comes out, the second single. Again, I was expecting more boring Octane butt rock. Boy, was I wrong. This song fucks. This is like back to the first album. It's still genty, but it's not just like straight up Architects worship, you know? It's got that heaviness of the first album. Chorus is a fucking banger. Very Slipknot, yes, but that's okay. So from the chat here said, so it's okay when they copy Slipknot but not Architects. Here's my thought on these things. At this point, I mean, metal has been around for what? Let's say 40, 50 years. It's pretty tough to do something where you're not going to be referencing another band in some way or another, right? And it's not that like it's okay to copy Slipknot but not Architects. It's kind of like when you literally copy an Architects riff and you copy them in every single fucking song, that's the issue. Just same as if you copy Slipknot or Slayer or any other band in every single song. That's my issue. We all have influences and it's okay to show them, but you can't just like copy paste. That's my issue. Not across a whole album. That's what I don't like. So this is obviously drawing from Slipknot, yes, but I think that, you know, as far as the boundaries of this genre go, I don't think it sounds like Slipknot. They're doing something different. And most importantly, it's fucking good. Wage War has never been an original band, and they don't need to be. Like, originality to me has no inherent value. I could write a song tomorrow that's like nothing else you've ever heard. That doesn't mean that you're going to enjoy listening to it, right? Originality has no inherent value and it's not important. I appreciate it. Like, you get bonus points for being original, but I don't care whether it's original or not. I only care whether it's good. It's distracting to me when it's so obviously a copy of something else. That's distracting. That takes me out of the song personally. Other people may feel differently, and that's okay. This is my review. It is my opinion. And if your opinion is different, that's okay. But this is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. No more doomsday riffs. Obama and I, we just talked. Banned, I'm sorry. We banned anime. We banned furries, and we also banned doomsday riffs. I'm sorry, guys. That's not even the best part. I've been saving this. This song is both amazing and original. This is what really kind of made me go, all right, these guys, they're not just a band that is capable of executing familiar stuff well. They can do something different. And I would say this is what I want metalcore to sound like. I really, really, really want this to be a thing. Let's listen to the song. I think this is the best song they've ever done. And I would say this is arguably my favorite metalcore song of the year.
Fear hits like a drug in the veins. Hard to stop like a runaway train.
Post Malone core, baby.
Spending nights just staring at the wall. Been mine
the little ghost main part, corpse husband part. This is boomer repellent. As soon as the boomers hear the 808s, the trap drums, they'll smash that dislike button. I just wish I could do corpse vocals like this. This is so different from High Horse, it's like a different band. It is. It doesn't sound like anything else they've ever done, but I think it's fucking cool. Corpse voice is easy to obtain. Chronic untreated acid reflux. Yeah, probably so. He does have a lot of health problems, and I wish him the best with those. This is like in a mirror kind of part. I love this. This is like as heavy as anything off their first album, if not more. That scream is so fucking good. Like, it's just a little thing. But like, A, that's just like a nice little arrangement detail of where they just pause for the scream, and B, that's just a fucking killer scream. So good. He's a fucking great vocalist. You know, the first single, a little bit too octane core for me, but High Horse, banger. Manic, super fucking cool. And I checked out the rest of the album, and the whole thing is good. Like, it's fucking good. This song is one of the best songs I've ever done. Perhaps a bit derivative of After the Burial. I forget the name of the song with all the pinch harmonics, but you guys will know. Not necessarily the most original thing in the world, but at least the riff, but it's fucking good. Pinch harmonics are just fuel for my soul. Every time I hear a pinch harmonic, my aura just glows. His vocals are on another level, though. Yeah, it does remind us, obviously, of After the Burial, but his vocals are really fucking good. This is just nasty. Very mirror here. What a fucking cool riff. By the way, shout out to the producers on this. I don't know if they listed it here, but this is produced by Drew Folk, well, and Jeremy McKinnon, but Drew Folk, aka Wizard Blood, produced this, who is a fucking genius. He also did the best mirror stuff. Look at Yourself. He did Motionless in White. Look him up. He's done a ton of shit. Like, the dude is fucking brilliant. Jeff Dunn mixed it. He works with Drew a lot. He's also incredible. So I don't think it's an accident that Drew is involved with this, because that dude is a fucking genius. He is one of the best in the game. Andrew Wade recorded this, yes, too. So, I mean, you got Andrew, Jeremy, and Drew involved. That's the fucking dream team. Three of the best people in the business. But Drew really has like a touch for this kind of stuff that's like heavy but catchy. I'm hearing a lot of his touch here. And another solo. Here's like the fucking kill switch part. Kind of came out of nowhere, but it worked. I love how they say the names of the songs all the time. It's like, you know, breakdown calls. It's so simple, but it's so good. Like, how fucking good is that song? If you like metalcore and you don't like that song, like, I don't know what to say. You're dead to me. That's a great fucking song. Is it the most original thing in the world? I don't know. Maybe not. Who gives a shit? It's fucking great. As far as I'm concerned, the verdict on this to me is that Wage War is fucking back. You know, not that they were ever gone. They obviously were doing just fine, despite the fact that I wasn't a fan of their last couple albums. But for whatever my opinion is worth, I think this album was fucking great. Probably the best metalcore release of the year, in my opinion. I would give this one like a 9. This album is really, really, really good, and I think it's cool, and I'm always happy to change my opinion about an artist. I don't bear grudges. I'm not going to decide that because you put out one song I didn't like that I'm never going to like anything. I'm happy that they put out an album that I like. It seems to be really well received as well. I mean, I've seen like nothing but positive comments about it. And I think that's cool. And if anyone in the band is watching this, I hope you don't hate me. Nothing but respect. Genuinely think the band they've always executed very well at what they set out to do. And I respect that. I may not necessarily personally like what they set out to do, but they have always executed it very, very well, and I certainly respect that. So that is my review of Manic by Wage War.